This AI agent writes all of your social media copy for you, and she is a beast at copywriting. She's a part of my larger social media system, which allows you to gather news sources either from Telegram inputs like URLs, voice, or text, or from RSS feeds, where it scrapes news sources and stores them in an Airtable database. But this agent that we're going to be focusing on today is going to take your news sources and write content for any platform that you want. The system gives you complete control over which channels she writes for and if images get generated. Let me show you how this thing works. We can just go ahead and we can test this workflow out. You can see she's getting to work, she's searching the Airtable, and she's going to begin writing. What she's doing here, the first thing she's doing is she's searching Airtable for the writing prompt for every channel. And so if we come back in here, you can see I have this writing prompts tab. And what I've done is I've just created like an AI writing prompt for every one of these channels. So this is Twitter, right? You're an AI industry expert creating optimized Twitter posts based on the content provided. Create one tweet following these guidelines. And then here's the format and structure. Here are some rules for the content, a style guide, an example tweet structure, then like an example tweets, just so it kind of knows the style that we're going for, right? And I just went ahead and did this for every single one of these channels. And so what's really cool is that the agent will basically look at the data and at the end, and remember that first post we said, oh, we just want to write a Twitter post for that, right? So what she's doing is she's saying, okay, we want to write a Twitter post, so we need to know what type of prompt to use. So she's going to search Airtable to grab that writing prompt and then use that to write the Twitter post. And then if the next one is a LinkedIn post, again, she's going to come in here, she's going to grab the writing prompt for LinkedIn, and then she's going to use that to write the LinkedIn post. And she's just going to have this back and forth with the Airtable database until she's written all the content. And if in that channel, once she's done with that, she's going to go back in here. She's going to look at the social post. She's going to see if we've checked yes for need an image. And if the answer is yes, she's going to send this down the line. The image is going to get generated by Flux. The image is going to get downloaded, and then it's going to get stored in the database alongside the post. So let's go through. I'm just going to show you step by step how each one of these nodes work. She's almost done working here, so we'll check back in a second. What's cool about this is I got a little notification that says I have new posts to be approved. And if we just come into Telegram here, you can see my little Newsatron bot that says you have new posts. So this just alerts you when posts are ready. We hop in the Airtable database. You can see we now have these fields with Twitter copy and LinkedIn copy and blog copy filled out, and we even have an image for this last post about 11 Labs. Obviously, this isn't English or readable in any way, but again, we can go ahead and we can adjust the writing prompt for the image generator to kind of gear that to like not using any text or something like that. But if we want to come in to like this OpenAI one, you can see now we have a tweet, we have copy for LinkedIn, and we have an entire blog article all written in Markdown format, complete with headers and subheaders, and even these nice kind of like bullet points and things like this. This is really thorough. It's kind of based off that original article. So this is pretty cool. I'm really happy with this system. I think it gives you a lot of control. And then when you're ready to kind of like go post to social media, you would just say approved, and the next automation is going to kick off. And this is basically going to post to all your social platforms. So this is all based around this Airtable database. If you followed any of the previous videos, you'll see how we built this out. Basically, this is just a record of news sources that we've gotten, again, either from Telegram with our own manual inputs or from scraping RSS feeds for current news. Basically, you can see a record looks like this. It just gives us the headline from the source and a summary of what this is about. In this case, this is OpenAI launches its latest AI model, GPT 4.5 for ChatGPT. And then it gives you a summary. OpenAI has launched its latest AI model, which promises enhanced natural interactions, et cetera, et cetera. And so from here, the AI agent is going to take this news article and it's going to write social media posts for whichever platforms we tell it to. So if we come in here, basically we have the option to choose which channel she writes for. So we can come in here, like if we said this first article just about Meta planning to launch a standalone AI app, maybe we just want to write a Twitter post for that. Maybe for OpenAI, we think this article is, really popular. We think it's trendy. We think a lot of people will be interested in that. Maybe we want to write for Twitter, LinkedIn, and maybe we want to write a blog too. And this last one is 11 Labs. New tool is blazing fast. It has a speech to text model. They launched a new AI tool named Scribe that provides speech-to-text capabilities in 99 languages. So this is pretty cool. Maybe we only want like an Instagram post for this. And so we'll just select Instagram. And here we just said, yeah, we want an image generator for this last one, but maybe not for the others. And again, like you have total control over, kind of what she writes here, which channel she writes for, and if they get images. If you want access to the system, I'll leave a link in the description where all you have to do is come up to these dots, click import from a file, navigate to that JSON file and click import, and this will go ahead, just pop in everything that I've already created for you. All you have to do is link up your credentials to Airtable and Claude or whatever writer you want. You can make this ChatGPT if you want, and then at the end here, put in your Telegram chat. I have videos on my channel that show you how to link this up to Telegram. You can skip this step if you want. It's totally up to you. But now you have a complete AI agent copywriter all ready to go. So let's just walk through this step by step. I'm just going to show you how this works. So this is just kind of kicked off with a schedule trigger. You would come up here. You can go into add another trigger, and this is basically just the on a schedule. And so this runs however often you want. Basically, the system is designed to run every single one of these modules like once a day, right? So in the morning, like basically these first two will come in here. They'll get news sources. This one will write for any content that you've approved, and then any content, that's ready to go out will get posted to social, and it'll kind of just run in a circle like that. And so you can set this up to run however frequently you like to check for new articles and basically kind of like write the copy for them. So now here we're just searching Airtable, and what we're doing is we're just filtering by this formula. We're basically want to make sure that the status is waiting for content and that the social channels field has something in it, right? So basically, like when new articles come in, like this won't have anything in it, and so we don't want the agent to write for anything that we haven't had a chance to look at, because like maybe we don't want to write anything about 11 Labs, and so like we're just going to leave that blank, and so she's not going to write on that one. But as soon as we go ahead and enter something in here, and when this first comes in, this is set to waiting for content. And so basically what happens is she's going to look for those two things. She's going to go ahead and say, all right, like these fields have been chosen. That means they've looked at it and it's ready for content. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start writing. Basically, this is just designed to loop over every single item that Airtable finds that is kind of meets those standards. What I'm doing here is I'm just kind of like setting the data from the headline and the summary of the article, and then grabbing the social channels that it's going to write for, right? So the ones that we selected here in this case is Twitter, LinkedIn, and the blog, right? Just an ID in case we need it. And then it also needs to know if we selected whether or not this needs an image. In our case here, it's no. If it's yes, it'll say yes, right? And it's just going to pass that information along to the AI agent one at a time, right? And so basically this is her. The prompt basically just has the headline, the summary, and the record ID to make sure that it matches when we update it. We have like a system prompt. This is actually like a pretty minimal system prompt given how much work she's doing. Your helpful and intelligent social media AI agent. Task: take the provided news article headline and summary and write social media posts for the relevant channels. Then I gave it some rules, like before writing, identify which channels posts are being requested. Before you begin writing, call the Airtable tool to find the prompt, the writing prompt you are to use for the corresponding channel. Meaning, if you are being asked to write a Twitter post, find the prompt for Twitter, right? And then it says the prompt will provide guidelines, et cetera, et cetera. Then here's an update process, basically, when to pass all the records along, wait until you finish writing everything that's coming into you. And then I just give this last little bit of information again, the headline, the summary, whether it needs image, just to make sure it has it and it's really clear what we're asking it to do. So basically what this agent does is it just kind of like loops through every one of these articles. It checks the Airtable for the writing prompt it's supposed to use. I'm using Claude to do all the writing for all this. So I think Claude's like a really great model for creative writing and things like this. And then we just have the structured output basically, right? So I just created this JSON. It's ugly. It should be on multiple lines, but it works like this. It's fine. So basically this is just the JSON for the output so that we make sure we kind of grab every one of those pieces. We have the Twitter copy that got written, the LinkedIn copy. I said, if there's, posts that you don't write or channels you don't write for, just leave it blank. Like that's fine. We just won't grab those, right? Here's the whole blog article, et cetera, et cetera. So once she's done with that, basically it's just going to go ahead with this Airtable update module, and it's just going to take the ID from the data set down here, and it's just going to match the ID that we have down here, and it's just going to update that with everything coming in from the AI agent. And it's just going to circle through this over and over again until it's done writing all the posts. Now, this if module basically is just looking to see if we have needs image checked yes, right? So like if we decide we want this post to have an image, it's going to pass it through to Flux. And we're just making an HTTP request. I like to use a website called Go API. I'll go to Go API on my dashboard right here. This is Go API. You have access to a lot of different APIs through this. I'm just using Flux. I find it to be really easy to use. You come in here and just grab the API key to set this up. I should blur that out. But basically, we're just making a post request, right? And we're sending our API key with X-API-key. Make sure these are all capital. This is really important. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And then we're sending a JSON here. This is the model that we're using. This is the task. And then this prompt here is actually coming from the image prompt all the way down here that the model is spitting out. And in this case, we actually didn't write an image prompt for this particular article, so we don't see it in this list in here. But if she were to write an image prompt, it would get fed into here. The image would generate in Flux. We're just waiting a minute for that image to generate. It really doesn't take very long at all. we're making another HTTP request. It's a get method. The URL is basically the same as the other one, except in this case, we just need to pipe on the end the task ID that's coming out of the previous HTTP module. Then we're making just the request again using our API key. And at the end, this all gets uploaded, updated back to Airtable with the image in place. And that's really how the system works. And so once you're done, you can get a complete record. Again, this is the OpenAI one with the Twitter copy, the LinkedIn copy, and the blog. This is 11 Labs. We said we just want to write for Instagram. So here's the headline, the summary, link to the article. Here's the an image prompt that we have in here. And I actually don't even have a field for Instagram in this database. So originally I wasn't planning on doing that. But if we had that would get stored in here, and then we have the image, right? So I should add a couple fields in my database before I send this out. But this is really how the system works. So if you thought this video was interesting, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out the other videos that I have that kind of teach you how to use the RSS feed and Telegram to get news articles. And I'll catch you over there.